Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's me, Jamin. You're on my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Woodstock, Peace, Love, and Rage. It's a documentary on HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, you know, I'm gonna say go watch it. I recommend it because I'm going to talk about what happens, and it's going to spoil it. Watch it. I recommend it. If you like, if you're a fan of nu metal or you were a fan of nu metal, then definitely check this out because it's worth it just for that, like nostalgia that you might have for nu metal. So there you go. So now let's get into what I want to talk about. Yes, this is a documentary. I do watch documentaries. I don't just watch stupid big budget action movies or, you know, old nostalgic cartoons and that. I do like to watch some nice artistic things like, oh, a documentary. And when it comes to like nice and artistic, this is not the thing for you. I mean, the documentary is. It's very nice and the way they do it is great. But as far as like the contents of the documentary, I don't know. To me, artistic, debatable. So, of course, you heard about Woodstock. Woodstock was at a 1969 music festival that people look back on and think, oh, this was a great festival, peace, love, you know, and there was a documentary that I've not seen, but it paints Woodstock in like a great, like this was such a cultural moment. Everyone was happy, but it actually was kind of a shit show. And they set that up in the beginning of the documentary. So if so they kind of like hint, you know, you can see where this is kind of going. This documentary is insane. So trying to do a festival, a music festival like Woodstock in '99, when the biggest acts are Limp Bizkit, Korn, Kid Rock, Metallica's still there. These kind of acts where there's just like heavy, aggressive music. Yeah, and it just kind of goes south. So what I like about this documentary is, man, it really captures my nostalgia. I still listen to some of these songs today, and I still like them, and I enjoy them. The songs, even if it's like in a guilty pleasure kind of way, but I still enjoy it because I was young at the time. You know, the people in this documentary going to the festival are like 22, from 18 to 30 possibly. Those were the demographic. But whenever this music was coming out, I was 7 years old in '99. So a couple years later, I got into Linkin Park, and then of course you go backwards in time, you find the Korns, the Limp Bizkits, and so around 13, I was listening to all this music, and I knew nothing about this festival. I didn't know that this even happened. I heard about the Fire Festival, and I watched the documentary of the Fire Festival, and they're very similar in the regard of just a kind of disaster. So what happens when you get a bunch of 22-year-old, hate-filled young white males together, and you play the heaviest music that is out at the time and the most rage-fueled, angsty, break shit music? Well, they broke shit, and they set fires, and they groped women and sexually assaulted women, and it was a horrible mess. Everything about this festival, outside of the music, debatably, was horrible and sucked ass. And they captured it in such a great way. Like, they laid out what happened here, there. There's so many great accounts of the story. They have attendees, they have security guards. Just a great documentary about a specific event in pop culture that is so relevant just to me, or just to like a small group of people. At this point, a small group of people. They can look back on this moment and be like, oh my God, this is like so 1999. You know what I mean? It makes me think of like 2020 or like whenever I was younger, like I'm around when I graduated college or even high school. What music was popular? What was aimed at me? What was the festival that I would have went to? And what bands would have been there? You know what I mean? And can they make a documentary in 10 more years about 2011 or 2012, 2015, like of this crazy event that kind of happened that took the world by storm and was just a big mess? I guess you could arguably say Firefest, but that was still a little bit I was still a little bit older then. I think that came out like, how many years ago was that? You know, I guess Firefest is kind of close, but I'm thinking a little bit later than Firefest, because a lot of the bands, I need to look at Firefest again and see how I really felt about those people that were going to be playing at that concert. But that was more bougie. That was like a fucking $2,000 ticket. You're going to this private island thing, not like a festival that's going to have 500,000 people there, or a couple hundred people, you know, like not Woodstock 99 had. But wow, it really gets you thinking. A lot of powerful stuff when you think about yourself and you think about the music industry and these kind of festivals and how they're just massive, like cash grabs / shit shows. And it just comes together so well. I really like it. I think it's a great documentary. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. And I think you should check it out. I mean, it's very interesting, and it's horrible and horrific. So if you're into the kind of like darker side of things, like if you're like, oh my gosh, you know, like real world events that just shock you, you should check this out regardless. If you really like 90s rock music, nu metal, you should check it out for the nu metal stuff, because there's some cool concert stuff in here if you like that music. So there you go. Like, subscribe, comment what you thought about this documentary below, and let's talk about it. So, check it out, guys.